Hello, this is MSP, and we're going to discuss how to swing trade using MSP Algo Options Playbook Advanced Warning System. All right, now right here we have what we call MSP Algo Options Playbook. It's an alerts log, and it log alerts. The alerts that it log pertain to price action and order flow. It's based on that. And so we got the MSP Algo Options Playbook. It has a triple play, 3 triggers, advanced warning plays. Today, I'm going to specifically talk about swing alerts, but I'll go over each alert that is a part of the triple play, the 3 triggers that can go off and alert you to what type trade to take. Okay, so we have what we call the flush alert, we have a rocket alert, and we have a swing alert. Okay, let's look at the first one, and it is a flush alert. We got one here with Amazon. If you click on the icon, it says a flush alert. Normally a flush is in process before a pop. A pop means before price go up. A flush means drop. A pop means move up. That's just trading lingo. The market maker is adjusting their inventory before the next move up, drop to pop. That's the move, expected move, and it's an excellent swing short to support. Then price is going to attempt to retest the trigger price, and I'll go over that. So it's basically telling you the short resistance once you see selling. Price should attempt to retest the trigger after that flush, and then it may be a good long in the future. Okay. So the first target is normally a breakdown of support, and normally if that hold, then it'll retest our resistance. So the difference between a flush and when price is just pulling back, it's a little bit more extreme. Normally it'll break many support levels and it just go through them. Okay, now what we have is a rocket alert, and a rocket alert normally means price is gonna move higher, or it's a long opportunity. So in this particular move, it says rocket alert. So there's a few moves here. The first one is short near resistance if possible, if there's room to go to support. Otherwise you just want to wait for price hit support. There's many types of price action that can occur with a rocket alert, and I'm just going to go over a few that is listed here. So normally with a rocket alert, price is going to go and retest support, and if that hold, it's going to rocket and up to test resistance. If resistance pass, that test pass, then it will break out and normally run to next resistance. So we call it a rocket alert. So it says the next possible play, if breakout above extreme resistance, which you could see we got extreme resistance and trigger prices here. So you would know where to look. It has the price near the open. So this one's saying in another scenario, if price open up and price is already above extreme resistance, then that will be retested as support, which is normally called a touch and go. It'll pull back to support, touch it to confirm, and then rock it to resistance. And we'll go over these different type of alerts. The main alert we're going to discuss today is swing alerts, but I'm just giving a high-level overview of the type of alerts that are triggered. Okay. And sometimes with these rocket alerts, if it's the market is chopping, and that means ranging, it'll creep to support and then rocket back to resistance and wash, rinse, repeat. So that's a nice alert to have. Okay. So we discussed the flush alert and the rocket alert, and what we're going to discuss today is swing alert. A swing alert is when you want to enter a trade and you want to hold for a period of time. Okay? So it says normally a flush is in process before a pop. So that normally, if you notice these alerts, it's telling you the moves in advance. So normally that first move is going to be a retest of some sort of support level. Okay, normally with these swing alerts is it will retest support. Okay, so it'll flush to support and test that. Normally the market makers are adjusting their inventory for the next move up. Meaning that they need to either buy shares or sell shares. Depends on if it's a pop to the top or a drop like a rock. It's an excellent swing long coming after that flush. And you want to go long below extreme support. Okay, so you see our extreme here zone. And with swing alerts, you want to go long below extreme support. Once it does that, it should retest the trigger price, which is the trigger price. Best triggered price. And if that passed, then your next target would be extreme resistance. So we're going to look, remove this. So the swing alert is saying that price is going to pull back to support or flush to support. It may flush below support. And then you may want to look for a swing trade. The reason you want to look for a swing trade is because price opened up below extreme reversal zone, which is support here. Okay, so that was 1360. So these alerts, the run date for the alert was the 21st of December, and the effective date of the alert is the next trading day. Okay, so initially you just see these columns and you will not see the rest of these, will not be populated. These alerts, the flush alert, rocket alert, and swing alert, come out after the 0940 run on the day of the alert. Okay, so the day of the alert, all you have to do is you could go to the money flow page, and after the 940 run, let's say 945, you look and you could see what type of alerts came out. As you could see, we have all sorts of alerts came out. Most of the alerts on the 24th of December were swing alerts, and we had a few alerts that came out simultaneously, a flush alert and rocket alert. So that was for gold. Okay, So at the end of the day, after the alert effective date, which is the 24th, at the end of the day, then these will be populated so the trader can know what happened that day once the market closed. So this is populated at the end of the alert day, so that will be the 24th of December, to let the trader know what happened as a quick view. So that day we had a swing alert, and at 0940, and it said price was going to flush after the open. So we could see that price did drop here to a low, and then it said that you're looking to go long below extreme reversal zones support. So you're looking to go long below 1360 once you see buying pressure. Okay, so this is the 24th. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go to the 24th and look at Amazon. So what we do know is when we're trying to look for a swing trade, we know that we will see a notification icon that looks like a slot machine. So here go our notification icon. We could click it there as well. Gives you a little description here of what you're looking to do and how to trade. Okay. All right, so let's just to remove any noise, we're just gonna focus on Amazon. So here is the money flow. We know at 0940, after the 0940 run, give it a couple minutes, we know we're going to get alerts. We know we got the triple play. In this particular scenario, we're studying swing alerts, and Amazon had a swing alert. Okay? So we clicked, we know what we're trying to accomplish, so it gives us a high-level overview, but we need to know when we could go long and when to get up out of our short position, because it said that it was a short. So here's the 24th, here's Amazon. And we can also see the alert using MSP Algo, Artificial Intelligence Trading Bot. So we could see some price action. This is the 1 hour time frame here. And we have we've went over this user interface on how to use it. We also have some information here about the options playbook, so you don't have to switch back and forth. This is the trigger price, the option trigger price, and if price is below it, it's bearish, and if above it, it's bullish. But it doesn't have anything to do with how to trade it, because normally that can be tested. It just depends on what that alert was. That is also on the money flow as well, and we could see that it says that this stock is bearish. Let's look and see what it looked like before market open. So it was bearish. The money flow was bearish. Money flow being bearish and bullish has nothing to do with taking a trade. What you need to do is see what money flow is doing near support and resistance. So we know with this application we could look and see where support and resistance is at, and we could see that support was 1360 to 1400 and resistance was 1413 to 1462, and we could see that price is below support. It broke support, right? And it's bearish as well. So later on in the day, after the open, we could see that some other alerts came out. I had some HFTs. So there's obviously something going on here. We see a little selling, and you could also drill in so you could get more information. Let's look at a 10-minute. So you already know what you need to do for the swing alert already, but now you're trying to time your entry is what you're doing. But we know if we go long below the extreme reversal zone, we should just be fine. But normally price is gonna flush below, because we know when these alerts come out we get a flush. So you could look at your chart as well. We'll look at that in a second. So so we could see a little bit more detail. This is price action for every 10 minutes. We still have all the information we need to know what to do. We could see we broke every single resistance and support level known to man, and price is actually in a flush process. And we got our alert at the 0930, 0940 time frame is when it actually ran, and it will display a couple minutes after that time frame. So we could see that we starting to see buying here. Bought at 1309, buying. So we think we could probably start buying about around this price here. Okay. So that was about what, 13 when we actually saw repetitive buying. That was the key. And we also have our signals here. This is the daily trend. This is the actually intraday trend here. Trend symbol, and then what the pivot is saying. So the pivot was saying it was a short. Alright, so normally I would look at my chart and look for pivot points. So let's look at the chart and look for some pivot points. I'm looking for entry. I already got an alert. I'm not trying to make this harder than it really is. It's not as hard as I'm making it out to be. Just a little tired right now. But let's look at the chart. Sure that is displaying, and it is. Okay, so here's our chart, and let's look at Amazon. And I did go over some videos on how to read the charts and the pivot points. These pivot points are in sync with the market maker and the market, and they come in real time. So that's why it's a good way to gauge what's going on. And normally I'll have a 4-way chart. It looks like a mess because it's all, but I'll open it up. I have my 10-minute, my 60-minute, my 240, and my 1 day. Okay, so that was the 24th of December. So I'll go to the 24th of December here. See what was going on. Look at a 10-minute because it seems like this moved quickly, right? Okay, so here's the open, and so it opened about 1346. We could see it did hit our extreme resistance. Here goes the 1363 right there, and it opened at 1346. So it flushed to 1307. I think we saw some buying about 1315 initially, but we like to look at the pivot points to get confirmation as well. So I think about here. So we have a pivot, but I don't really like to use the 10-minute. I really like to use the 1 hour. I use the 10-minute for intraday to drill in, but those pivots are 10-minute time frame, so they're not as reliable as a 1 hour time frame. 10-minute time frame has smaller moves. Yes, it may bounce, but we're looking for a swing trade, so we're expecting a bigger move. So we want to kind of wait because we don't want it to try to flush on us again, right? We did see buying in the app. We got confirmation. We should see some sort of pivot, and we do. So we see a brand new pivot, and it is 1307. So we're thinking about somewhere near this area. We want to try to buy the extreme reversal, supported broke. I like to put lines so I could see what's going on. Was 1360. So at 0940, we knew a few things. One, we knew price broke extreme support. What does it mean to say extreme support or extreme resistance? What that means is that it reached a pinnacle, it reached a point where price may reverse. We have normal support and resistance, and we have extreme support and resistance. Normally, once it reaches those price points, price will reverse. And if it's in a downtrend, it still will reverse, even though it may be temporary. There's no such thing as price just go down. There's no such thing as price just go up. Price goes up and down in a downtrend and in an uptrend. Okay, so we knew right out the gate 10 minutes out the gate, we had a trade coming. We knew we had to go long below 1360. So as we could see, a lot of my the things I was doing when I was looking at the application was just to get a little bit more intel or confirmation on exactly where is the best place to take this trade. Now, so this is on the 24th here, okay? So what I'm gonna do, we just want to show the 24th about the time that, let's just say here. So this is what it looked like. It's easy to say what it's gonna, to say what you're gonna do when you have all the candles. But what about when you don't, right? So this is the 24th, and this is the candle that is in play. And we drilled into our application, and we saw some buying. We know all we really needed to do is buy below 1360, but we're trying to get the lowest entry we possibly can. If we just bought below 1360 because you're busy, you have a busy life, you just don't have time to stay at the market, that's just fine. That's just fine, okay? It may still flush on you, but eventually, within time, it will retest that trigger price, because we know that's our first target, right? Which is about what I would have to look. Okay, so that was the 24th. Now, so we could see it is kind of looks really bearish. Now this is the next trading day, so you could also wait for the next trading day. You don't have to take that swing alert trade that day. You can wait for the next trading day. What I do recommend is when the swing alert, once you get experience, you could modify. But when that swing alert come out, you want to see where the low for that day is, and then the next trading day, try to buy near that low. It may not hit exactly as low as it got, but your goal is try to buy in that zone, okay, which would be below that 1360. So we could see the next trading day, it did retest that. And then in time, it retested the trigger, right? So let's go and see what that trigger was. So that's your swing trade. We're not trying to hold anything. We're not investors. We're trying to make money, and we're trying to trade as easily as we possibly can. Not saying trading is easy. It does take a little bit of effort, but this is the easiest trading that you may experience, okay? Because it's an advance warning. Okay, so let's go back to the app and our swing trade, and it say our first target. When we click, it say price is gonna flush long below extreme support. That was 1360. Price should attempt to retest the trigger price. What is the trigger price? The trigger price is an algorithm based on the human bot-like behavior of traders, okay, and what they're gonna do. So it, in essence, is saying that there was a few things that went on here. One, price reached an extreme support level, and two, it should retest the trigger price, okay? So actually, I'm sorry, that's not the triggered price. That's the triggered strike price. There's a difference. There's a triggered strike price. What does the strike price tell you? It tells you what price option you're looking to purchase. So you will be looking to purchase a 1380 call, because we're thinking, we're saying it's going to retest the trigger, so that means price need to go up. So we know that's a call. Support, it normally means price is going to go higher. So we will buy a 1380 call, and we want, since we're doing a swing trade and we don't know if the institutional traders need a chop price or go through an accumulation process where price is chop in a box. So we want to try to get this 1380 call a couple weeks out, okay? Is what we would try to do. All right. So our target is the stock trigger price. So that's 1413. Entry 1360. Below target, first target 1413. If that target, if you want to try to take as much profits as you can. If you only have a one option, then just cash out. If you have more, then cash out and hold some, right? Only if price action is a breakout and it's holding nicely, then your second target is 1500, okay? So we could kind of just gauge by looking at this, and we can see that 1500 got hit, but it took the second of that got hit a lot quicker than that. We could see based on our log that on the 28th of December that target got hit. So you should be out of your position, right? Sometimes price don't actually get to the target. It may get a little bit away from the target. If it's $5 away from the target and you see that there's an immense amount of selling, you just want to exit your position, okay? So I'm going to do another video. I just want to try to get this out. But that's how you would swing trade. Using the swing trade alerts, and we could see that this is Netflix, same concept, same message. Price is going to open, so it's going to flush. So we actually have a few trades with this. We have a short and we have a long, okay? So price opened at 266, it flushed to 251, and then it went back to, it should go back eventually to it's a retest what the trigger there in time. But it looks like what happened here is price opened here at 266, went to 251, and let's see what actually happened. It could have opened, went to this 270 and flushed. So let's talk about swing trades and how you could gauge should you stay in that swing trade, okay? Because in this particular situation, this price is dropping. It's not going up. So you have swing alerts for pop and you have swing alerts for drop. And the way to tell if you should be long or short next day is based on our handy dandy stock trigger price. This tells you if it's okay to stay long. Okay, so because sometimes, like I said, you may get a swing trade and it says the first thing is what, a short, and then you want to go long or whatever. But this is where this comes in. The most important thing to watch is the option trigger retest, and this tells you if you should be going long the next day. The money flow, not so much important because we know that change based on support resistance, but this is very important here, okay? Is the options trigger retest. It tells you the stock health. That way, if you short and price did not bounce yet, you know you could swing trade short, okay? The best way to get up to speed with this is to back test. You see how this is pretty much a back test I'm doing, right? I went back in time. I looked at the alerts log and let's look at chart for Netflix. So you can get swing long and shorts. The key is what does the options trigger price tell you, and that is on the trading bot as well as the money flow and the log, okay? So let's go to that date and see what happened. All right. So Netflix, it seemed like out the gate it dropped like a rock from what, about 250 to 230. See what happened. I'm not sure. I probably got the wrong date. Let's look. Probably got a different date because that's not correct based on what we looked at. What date was this one? Okay, that's before the major swing long came. So that was on the 20th. So let's look at the 20th. So I'm showing you one where price kept dropping like a rock, Netflix, and I showed you one where it just flushed and reversed, okay? And I told you what you need to look at in order to know if you should go long. That's why I say the best bet when these swing alerts come out is to wait the next day before you actually make a trading decision to go long. Because how long is it going to flush? It depends on the institutional traders and the market makers, okay? So here we go. So we could see this flushed. It looked like it bounced, and then it went a little lower the next day. So let's go in and make this a little smaller here. And we could see that from the day that we got our swing alert on the 20th, it's been dropping an additional, the holidays was around this time, so that's 21. So the 26th is not as many days. And then it finally reversed. You see what I'm saying? So normally these, what a swing alert tells you is that in the future, the key word here, in the future, you're going to have a swing long, okay? So we know the first move is flush. Flush may take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but we know price is going to pop to the top and retest those price points that we mentioned, okay? Now, if you make a mistake, you don't really got to worry about it. Best thing I recommend is when you take these trades, let's go to the 20th here. When you take the trade, this is 20th, First trade was a short. You looked at the options trigger. You noticed that you got out of most of your position. You noticed that price didn't recover and it was still bearish in the day. So you held some shorts, hoping that it'll pull back a little more. So that's what's going to save you, is the options trigger price point, which is on the money flow and on the log. So we could just look and see what happened. And this is how you back test. This is how you learn how to trade something new. So we could see that it kept dropping. Oh, I forgot. Another thing you could do is wait for a rocket alert. That's another thing you could do as well. After these swing trades come out, you could wait for a rocket alert if you're challenged. Okay? So we could see with Amazon, we took our short. We're just going to wait. We know that that's just telling us, hey, a swing long is coming in the future. That's what it always means. But before the swing long, the institutional traders need to be able to get into that position. So they may drop it. And that's really what that's saying. So you can make money on the drop as well as when it actually moves. And you could be trading side by side with the institutional traders, okay? So we could see that we got a swing alert, and then in this particular situation, we did our little swing alert. We noticed that it ran to the moon. We probably went to our swing long trade here. Or we waited for the next day to hope it would retest. It didn't, but it did go below our 1360, right? So we went on and got into that. And but on that day, we got a flush alert. And it said price is going to flush. So price opened at 1374. We waiting for a flush. We hope it go near yesterday lows. It didn't. It went to 1340s. And we also had another alert. We had a rocket alert. And I'm going to go over all these different alerts in the next video. I just want to focus on the swing alerts today. Okay? So, if you are challenged, you see the swing alert, you wait for a rocket alert. Then you know you could go long, right? Of course, you want to get validation and try to find the best entry. Let's see, Amazon. So this is 26. We're going to look at a 4-hour time frame. And we could see all our cute little alerts here. And we could see that we had other little scalp alerts within the application as well. We could see a momentum alert came out as well. But what do you notice? These alerts come out before any other alerts. When these alerts come out, you'll see the preparation stage in the future. See the preparation stage in the future? For what's going to happen in the future, okay? So, so price went from 1400 to 1470. All right. So this is a wrap. So the main things you need to remember is these alerts come out after the 0940 run. So it has to run. I had someone tell me at 0940 it wasn't out. This is 0940 run. It take about a minute or two. After that run, then you could look and you could see if any alerts. And you could see we had a whole bunch. This is our new indicator here, and I'm going to do a video on it. And this indicator here tells you where it expects price to go in the future. And also it works as a good gauge to if you're near higher lower day at the open as well. Okay, so what date is this? The 24th. So we had Amazon. So obviously we was near higher day when the market opened up, and price gravitates back to this price. So let's take a look and see what happened normally, because that's saying that's where price is supposed to be. So Amazon, give me Amazon. For the 24th, check out our new little thing we got, toy. So this tells, what this tells me is that on the 24th, price was, I'm not gonna, people say it's manipulated. I'm not gonna use that word. I'm gonna say that it was a flush, and there was an accumulation stage that begun. So but we'll go into more depth into that in the future. Okay. Oh, okay. That was what, 1377. So, oh, okay, it did hit it. It did hit it. It did. I'm just getting confused because Amazon moves so quick. I mean, when I'm like, it's 813. How's it at 13? Well, it is at 13 here, but it's at like 15 here, and I see 16 here, and I'm like, duh. Okay. So yes, we'll look at a smaller time frame since I know where I'm at. But like I said, I'm a little tired here. I just want to go over this. I think this video went way too long, and but at least you got a high level overview and you know how to back test. Okay, so when the market opened up, we're looking at our new tool, which is a high day, lower day indicator. And basically, it tells you where price supposed to be is what I'm learning is what it does. I thought it was more like a higher day, lower day, but it's more like it's gauging order flow, and it's thinking about based on supply, demand, order flow, that price should be at 1377 is what I was thinking it was saying. Okay. So when the market opened up, it wasn't there. It opened up at 1346. So that's another thing you could play. You got to be a little bit more experienced, and this involves, you know, scalp traders. So you know that price is going to flush, and you know that based on the algo, it think price should be retest that price. It think it should retest that price. So you could see in this flush, it flushed to 1304, and it did retest that price. So that's something new we have, and I'm gonna go over that as well. So it's kind of exciting. So our bot saying price supposed to be retesting there based on the bot-like behavior of the human species and supply and demand and order flow and blah, blah, blah. So that tells you that the market really does work based on order flow, and there's no rig job in it whatsoever. Okay? Sure, there's a little manipulation to get the institutional traders in and out, but that's about it. I just see that ultimately it is based on supply and demand. Okay, so that is it. That's the end of our how to swing trade using MSP Algo Options Playbook Advanced Winning System. I hope you have a great evening and happy trading.